All right, founders, it is time for another pitch deck critique and review. And today we have a B2B app. It's all about two-way lead gen for contractors. We are trying to raise 500K pre-seed. I don't exactly know what stage we are in terms of working MVP, things like that. Hopefully we can mine it out. I'm not going to lie, this deck is actually pretty good. Kudos to this founder for integrating a lot of what I want to see in pitch decks, and I know other investors want to see. You can tell that there's some hard work that's been put into this. Question is, can this deck be great? That is the question, and I believe it can be. However, what's missing is a clarity in terms of the investment thesis, the hypothesis, or the assumptions that this founder is making. I got this sense that there's gold in here. We have to mine it out, refine it, and present it in a way that makes investors excited because there's a contrarian approach to what's going on here. It's just on the tip of my mind. It's out there on the edges. I can see the shape of it, but it's not clear yet. Let's see if we can help this founder out. Before we continue, my name is Ed Kang, 7-time funded founder with 2 exits. That's just a fancy way of saying I failed a bunch of times for your benefit because I like to use videos like this and my entire YouTube channel to try and help founders, especially if you are early stage, pre-seed or seed, and you're trying to raise funding, avoid some of the catastrophic mistakes that I have made. I do this every day, all day long at startups.com. If you're joining us from the startups.com community, thank you so much. Appreciate your full support. If you appreciate this type of content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All the encouragement is tremendously helpful, allows me to guide the type of content that I put on and plan all my videos out. If you're a founder out there and you want to have your own pitch deck critiqued and reviewed, stay to the end where I'm going to leave some special instructions. I have so many pitch deck requests that we have had to start a new process. We'll go back and forth, and I'm going to explain it all to you at the end of this video. And if you are this founder, I appreciate your courage bringing it here, allowing us to publish this content so other founders can learn. I suggest that you show everybody else what type of feedback that I give because I'm an advisor and these are just my opinions alone. A lot of different advisors and experts, even investors, have different ways that they approach pitch decks, but I have a feeling that you're going to see a general consensus about the feedback that I give. Thanks again. Let's jump into this review. First of all, right away, the fact that you've got this tagline is really solid for me. It's not catchy slogan, fluffy, buzzy marketing jargon. You are saying we are doing two-way lead gen, and it is an app for contractors. Now, this is the interesting term. As soon as I saw this, two-way, it created some curiosity for me. Of course, we have an app and it's for contractors. So I know generally that I'm in the B2B space working with contractors, and this is a very, very good start. Next, we have right at the top, junk leads and lack of trust plague current models. This is a statement that you are not going to need. As I always say, don't walk in and say, this industry is broken. Financial markets are broken. Blah, blah, blah. Healthcare is broken. Facebook is broken. That does not qualify as a problem statement. You're getting better with this one. Contractors, the paying customers of a $20 billion marketplace, feel lead generation solutions exploit them, resulting in billions lost to churn and opting out. You've got the general gist of where we want to go here, but we got some hyperbolic terms and you've lost me. So let's break this down. We're saying that contractors pay $20 billion a year in a marketplace for lead generation that doesn't work. And so they lose billions to churn and opting out. That's what I'm gathering from here. You could probably combine this into one sentence. Let's think about this for a moment. If we said something like X millions of contractors, they pay X amount of dollars or Y dollars to get lead generation, so this is leads, but end up getting nothing and waste this amount of money because this is not working, because the current solutions do not fulfill what they need, and this is a pervasive problem. All these contractors spend tons of money on leads that don't get them anywhere. That would be something that's a lot more straightforward. Now, this is the curious thing here. You got the average BBB rating of 126. I don't know if this is your problem. Are you saying that these ratings are bad? Are you saying that these ratings don't work and they're not good for the customer or the contractor? If the customer's rating you 1 star, isn't that the truth? So now we've got this interesting piece of data here, and I know there's a reason you're putting in there, but I'm already lost, but that's okay. I'm willing to jump down this rabbit hole with you, but I need you to know, founder, that you have to clarify this. It can be much simpler, but let's move a little further along and see if we can get to the bottom of this. So now you're saying we listen and built what contractors actually want. All right, we're going to take this statement out. You don't need to be putting this stuff like this here. But this is a new model. I'm expecting something new. And remember, I was looking for two-way. What is going on? A home service app, contractor only, with pro-vetted two-way lead gen, network building, and project management. Now you've explained that there is pro-vetted two-way lead gen again and pro-vetted. I don't understand what that looks like. Yet, I'm enticed. I'm curious, but it's not clear. What are you saying? Are you saying that contractors vet each other? Is this mutually vetted lead gen and therefore you're getting better reviews on there? You don't have those low BBB reviews from customers? I'm not too sure, yet you piqued my curiosity. But you have to understand, an investor's not going to spend this amount of time. I'm acting as your advisor at this moment, and I'm thinking, okay, let's really dig in. Let's figure it out. Let's keep going. Now you're saying their dissatisfaction is worth your attention. Whose attention is it worth? Are you talking to me, the investor? Are you talking to the customer? Not exactly sure what's going on here. Again, we're going to take this out. RevLink will solve problems for a beachhead addressable audience worth $2.6 billion annually. All right, so I'm thinking this is the market size here. This is the market analysis. And again, I'm very confused because I don't know what the problem solution is exactly. We're kind of getting there, but let me point out what you did good. You showed the math, which is good. So you did the annual value here times, I'm not too sure. You're looking at the ideal customer profile segment. You've got all this math in here, and it's worth $2.5 billion, almost $2.6 billion. It's still not totally clear, but I like the way that you're approaching this. This is probably the first pitch deck that I've seen right away do a bottom-up analysis. Every other founder who's watching this, you should be understanding that I see so many top-down analyses. I see, oh yeah, contractor marketplace is $7 billion and we're going to be making 10% of that. This is bottom-up. They've actually calculated the ideal customer profile, the ICP, how many of them there are, times what we think we're going to charge, and then you're going to figure that out. Now, here's what's cool is you can still use a top-down analysis to show your math, which is calculated into here, and that's fine. But this is bottom-up, and so I'm going to give this slide an A+. Even though it doesn't totally make sense yet, the way you're constructing it shows me that you'll eventually get there. Rebuilding the model to serve contractors first. Our apps makes giving, getting, and managing jobs so easy that you can do it on a ladder. Bummer slide right here. Why? You're talking to the customer. This is not to the investor. I'm not going to be on a ladder. I don't need to give, get, and manage contractor jobs. I'm not a contractor, so this entire slide is redundant. You don't need to put it in there. Our model is a wholly new solution for an existing unsatisfied customer. All right, this is just marketing hype. This is buzzy. I'd rather have you just clearly state out what makes yours different. Talk about the reason this is two-way. Now, I'm still a little lost here, but let's go through this. First of all, I don't like the fact that you've got this going on and then you've got another emoticon here that looks really close. I couldn't tell the difference. This was very confusing. So I had to go by color, and you don't want to go by color because some people can't differentiate color very well. Just make it super clear, black and white, green check marks, red X's, and don't leave it up to chance. I don't know what these numbers are up here. You have not explained them. And I can see you've got everything going on here. Let's take a look. The fact that you've got these competitors here, which is great. I appreciate that. Okay, so you get paid for leads. Who gets paid for leads? Do I get paid for leads? No junk leads, all right? You're saying there are no junk leads, but how? I don't understand. Build contractor network, I don't know what that means. No competing for leads, that's just, again, another way that you haven't explained how you're different. You're just kind of putting out a benefit there. No prepay and contractor qualified leads. The problem with this list right here is that I don't understand. Without inside information or domain expertise, I don't understand. So you want to clarify this a lot better. This is interesting data down here in terms of bidding on leads, right to use your business name. Again, it shows me that there's an interesting thesis here. Your assumptions are going somewhere, but they're not clear in the way you presented it. Now, here's the fascinating thing, and everyone is going to have to just allow me to digress. Please be patient with me as I try and break this down because there's so much information. This slide is so dense, but that's where I thought the gold might be. Let's see if we can find it. What do we know that the competition failed to notice? The reason I like this is because you're showing that you've got some type of contrarian investment thesis going on here. All right, so I'm going to follow you down this rabbit hole. Our model, contractors selling leads to contractors. Wait a second. Is this it? Is this the gold star that I'm looking for that you have not explained to me anywhere else? You could have said right up front in the solution slide, we have a new model where contractors sell lead to other contractors versus trying to get leads from customers or trying to get leads through the directory or database or whatever listing app that they're using to try and reach customers. You could have said this right up front, because if you would have started with that, led with, we've got a cool model where contractors sell leads to other contractors, well, then I'm thinking, okay, now I know where we're going, but I have to get to all the way to this slide in the deck to actually see it written out for me and explicitly said. Then you've got their model, marketing firms selling leads. So what's interesting here, you could do an A/B analysis, or you could do a before and after. And that's a story that you could easily say, all right, so before our app, what would happen is a contractor would go to this marketing firm and they would get leads from the marketing firm and waste all this money. Now, with our app, contractors sell leads to other contractors. Now you see why how it works slide is so important. And you can share this story. What they missed. All right, we're getting better. We're getting to the goods here. The magnitude with which contractors make referrals to other contractors. This is your unique insight. Instead of going to a marketing firm trying to reach customers, we're just going to have contractors make referrals to other contractors. And then you've got traction. This is not your differentiator business model slide. This should be in the traction slide. Now you're explaining why now, or the validation of the market, because 93% of people trust a referral from another contractor. Again, this is a unique insight. You could have started the whole thing right from the beginning, is that customers prefer leads from other contractors. And then you got this big paragraph here, which makes sense, but it should have been integrated more into the problem and the solution and how it works. So now I'm going to go all the way back and say, if I had to repurpose this slide, I would make it a how it works slide. Super simple. This is how it works before, this is how it works after, and maybe have a 1, 2, 3 step, super simple on how contractors refer other contractors to customers. Now that we've gotten there, I can zip through these other slides because everything I've talked about, if you integrate these suggestions, these other slides are going to change. The unfair advantage, we've already gotten there. Contractors referring leads to other contractors because customers trust contractor leads or referrals better than anybody else. Now you got the business model slide. You're charging 2% platform fee of final project cost. And you've got this minimum subscription pricing, and you got processing, house source leads. All right. What you want to do is you just want to explain right at the top. You want to do one sentence up here. So we're going to get rid of this and we're going to say, we charge 2% platform fee of all project costs. Plus, we plan to expand into these things right here. Just make it one sentence and make it simple and straightforward. Now, here is your team slide. I like the team slide. I have no idea the reason we've got this Viking ship going on here. Let's get rid of this, all right? We know what it takes to ship it. All right, so let's just get rid of this here. And you can say our team has 10 plus years of successful web apps and brand building together as a team. That is a great statement. You get an A+ for this statement. Then you've got your co-founders here, CTO, COO, CEO. Usually you want to put the CEO up at the top. That's very important. There's lots of reasons for this. But this whole the wizard, the contrarian, embraces the struggle, you don't need that. You're trying to be clever. Just be super straightforward. This is fantastic. You know what this is? This is social proof. But you want to explain, we have worked at these companies. We have worked on these apps. Social proof is amazing. This is a fantastic team slide with just a few adjustments. I'm giving an A plus because normally the team slides don't come in this good. It's a really, really solid. So maybe you can make an A plus plus with all the adjustments I'm suggesting. We're raising 500K pre-seed to speed scale our next milestones in 8 months. Close. I like the fact that you said we're raising X for Y milestone in Z timeframe. Our next milestones, just tell me what the next milestone is in terms of develop an app and launch, scale marketing, traction, and revenue. I don't know how you're going to scale into those. This is pretty good, but how much revenue? If you're going to put, we're going to scale our next milestones, you're going to generate revenue, tell me how much revenue, or you can say we're going to start generating revenue in the next 8 months. You see how all this can be integrated into this statement. So pretty darn close, one of the better ask slides that I've seen. And then you got your contact slide. Thanks for taking a look. That's fine, but let's put a name and let's be super clear and let's make it big on who we're contacting it. I appreciate you had the name in a little itty bitty email there, but I want to know who I'm talking to. Am I talking to the CEO when I contact, and what's the information? And put a phone number down there as well. Make it as easy as possible for the investors to contact you. As I said in the beginning, this is a good pitch deck. Can it be great? Absolutely. But it can't be great until you clarify the idea. Let's summarize here. By the time I got through this deck, I understood what your contrarian differentiator was. And you might be nodding your head saying, yes, Ed finally gets it. Or you may be looking at me saying, no, Ed, you've got this completely wrong. Well, that's what I'm working with. This is the reason your pitch deck has to be more clear. But here's how I'm going to try and clarify it. Instead of a contractor, I'm a contractor. Instead of going to a marketing company and paying them a bunch of money to try and get me leads from customers, I'm going to go to your app and I'm going to get leads from other contractors. And in fact, those other contractors are going to refer me to their customers. And so we create kind of like this triangulation economy because you're establishing that customers prefer and trust leads from other contractors more. So say I've got Joe, the drywaller out there, and he's drywalling, he's patching a wall, and he says, do you need this painted? Well, let me refer you to my contractor that I use for all my painting. And then everybody gets in on the action and they're going to make money. I'm going to make money. Customers are going to save money or get a referral that they trust. Instead of going through this entire database or looking through all these online reviews with janky BBB ratings or Google Business Reviews or Yelp or whatever you have out there, you're solving the problem by making it contractor to contractor referrals. Did I get that right? If I did get that right, then it's not in the deck. I repeat, get it clear. Tell me the problem is that us contractors are getting leads from marketing firms, and the solution is to get it from other contractors. And the reason I'm jazzed about this, if I did get this right, is because I do it all the time as an advisor. When I'm advising a founder, I say, do you want the number to my guy? I even have an osteopathic doctor that I refer. And everyone says, oh, really? You would refer your guy? I look good. That person looks good. It's fantastic. In fact, other founders contact me and said, send me your branding people. Send me your strategy people, your data analytics people. I do this all the time. And you're saying we can actually now get paid to go contractor to contractor? That's fantastic. Now, I don't know if your competitors are doing it or not, because I'm not a domain expert. I'm not in the space, but clearly you know how to do competitive analysis. So as I said, this is a very good start, but it could be great and fantastic. You got the mechanics of building a pitch deck down. Now go out there and clarify your idea and keep turning those puzzle pieces till they click in. So I understand right from slide 2, problem, solution. I get it. That's what you're going for. For all you other founders out there, leave a comment to see if you can encourage this founder. Keep it nice. But I think I'm on the right track, but maybe you're seeing something different. Love to know your opinions. And if you want your own pitch deck critiqued and reviewed, leave a comment. But here's the special instruction. You need to tell me what you're trying to build. Give me one sentence of what you're building, and I will respond to you, and we need to go back and forth. Like I said, I have a lot of requests, so I'm sort of creating a funnel to see which decks can actually make it to the review stage. I'll always give you a little bit of feedback, but for content on this channel, I want to make sure that we're not doing the same thing over and over again. We're getting better at these decks, and we're seeing some interesting startups and how to communicate them and sharing the success stories. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next pitch deck critique and review.